It's 2 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm Ron Burgundy, and tonight's top story is America. She is the greatest country in the world.
Back the history of the world. Too much of the news is about what's wrong with America.
Amen, brother.
Well, tonight our top story is what's right with America.
Hey, for starters,
we kick butt. Nazi butt. Russian butt.
What are we doing? He's talking about America.
I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
America! Happy 4th of July, everyone. Today, I'm starting a new segment on this channel called Let's Talk. In this series, I'll share interesting thoughts I have. Basically, talk about anything that I think is cool. Today is the 250th anniversary of the United States. And I want to talk about the most Americans that America has to offer. We'll split this into sections so it's easier to follow. First, we're going to start off with presidents and public figures. There's not so many public figures. The entertainers, some athletes, and people you might know, and then also some honorable mentions that I think are pretty good, but they're not good enough. And also, if you have any ideas on what I should do, or people that didn't make the list, leave it in the comments so I can make a part 2 if enough people want it. First thing we're going to talk about is presidents and public figures. And there's no better place to start than George Washington was born on April 30th, 1732, with American blood before America was even a thing. He was the leader of the American Revolution, he was the founder of the United States, and he was also the first president in this free nation. He set up the foundation for our country that we still rely on today. In his farewell address, he warned us not to create political parties, not to make foreign alliances, and also not to create a national debt. He was pretty spot on, but also we didn't listen. We did all of that stuff. But moving from one inspirational president to the next, we're going to talk about Teddy Roosevelt was famous for breaking up big companies and stopping monopolies once and for all. He also created the National Park Service, and I think that's really cool because parks, I don't know, go to a park, touch grass. A little fun fact about him is, did you know that the teddy bear was created because of him? He went on a camping trip and he refused to shoot a baby bear. Some guy in New York heard that story and was like, hey, teddy bear. And then they made a little stuffed bear. But moving from one Roosevelt to the next Roosevelt, we gotta talk about Franklin
We'll win through to absolute victory.
Roosevelt. Y'all ever heard of World War II? He ended it. And then he ended it again. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, that was Truman. Truman did all that. But Roosevelt passed away. He wasn't even around to make the order. But if he was, he would have done it and stopped Nazi Germany from taking over the world. So that was pretty big. He served for 12 years as the President of the United States from March 1933 to April 1945, becoming the one and only president to serve more than 2 terms. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Sorry, Donald. He had polio the whole time. He was just paralyzed from the waist down, and he kept it a secret because he was afraid that if the word got out that he had polio, he wouldn't be as intimidating. So he just kept that shit shh. And it worked. Worked. Everyone was afraid of him. Alright, now who's ready for this guy? The one. The only. How do I describe JFK? JFK was pretty good. He was one of the best. He was a soldier, and he was on a Navy ship, and the Navy ship got hit. And do you know what he did? He didn't die. He didn't move. He didn't surrender. He took him and a bunch of his crewmates, and they swam to an island. And do you know what they did? They wrote a message on a coconut. A coconut. A freaking coconut. And they gave it to the native people, and then they brought it back to the United States. So he pretty much saved everyone. Yeah. He also hated communism, which was like America #1. Next on the list is
Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today.
Martin Luther King Jr. was an American Baptist minister and a leader of the civil rights movement. He was famous for advocating for racial equality and social justice by using peaceful protests and non-violent actions. Thanks to his work, legal segregation ended in America. Next is the first man on the moon. It's Neil.
All steps for man. One giant leap for mankind.
Armstrong. And Buzz Aldrin. Can't forget about Buzz Aldrin. He's the second man on the moon. But we're both the first people on the moon. Neil Armstrong was a naval pilot and the commander of the Apollo 11 mission. On July 20th, 1969, him and Buzz Aldrin became the first people to land on the moon and put the American flag. Buzz Aldrin was right beside him. Can't forget about Buzz Aldrin. This ended the space race between Russia and America, and, you know, good vibes. Good vibes from then on out, because then it was the 70s. Next, we're gonna move into entertainers. And the first entertainer I want to talk about is Stan Lee, the creator of... Stan Lee was pretty much an icon to a lot of us, especially like my generation. So he pretty much created superheroes and all of our favorite superheroes that we know and love, alongside Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko. Let's just run through a list of characters that he actually created, and maybe it'll like hit something in your mind. You're like, oh my god, I love that character. He created that? Wow, I actually love that guy now. It was Spider-Man, the Fantastic Four, Iron Man, the Hulk, Hawkeye, Ant-Man, Black Widow, all of the X-Men, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Doctor Doom, Loki, Dr. Octopus, and the list goes on and on. The only character I wish he did make was... The next entertainer I would like to talk about, well, actually he could fit into any of these categories, is Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was born in Austria before deciding to move to the United States and become an American citizen in 1983. He was an actor, a businessman, a film producer, a politician, and a professional bodybuilder. Not in that order though. Long story short, he became the epitome of the American dream by achieving all the goals that he wanted to do and even immigrating here and creating a very good life for himself. Next, we're going to talk about Chuck Norris. Everyone likes Chuck Norris. He's a cool dude. He is the Chuck Norris joke, you know, Chuck Norris. So, I think the only way to talk about Chuck Norris is to say Chuck Norris jokes, because I like Chuck Norris, and the Chuck Norris jokes are funny. So, let's go. Chuck Norris uses pepper spray on his meat. Chuck Norris doesn't get the flu. The flu gets Chuck Norris. Ghosts tell Chuck Norris stories around the campfire. Chuck Norris doesn't breathe, he holds air hostage. Chuck Norris can kill your imaginary friend. Chuck Norris has a diary, and it's called the Guinness Book of World Records. Next, I'd like to talk about my favorite hero.
And his name is John Cena!
But yeah, look at this picture I have of him right here. Isn't he so cool? I think so. So John Cena moved to California to follow his dreams of being a pro wrestler. In 2002, he became the Doctor of Thugonomics, where he would go around and start spitting bars at people and roasting them, and then everyone was like, oh my god, I don't know what the hell's going on.
I didn't really get that. I just heard you heavy breathing, dude, and choking on your neck fat.
Before he became the larger-than-life figure that he is today, he holds the record for most WWE World Championship reigns with 17. And I know what you're thinking, because I can read minds. WWE is rigged. Of course he got him, because they told him to get him. I got something to tell you. Is the feeling you get when John Cena attitude adjusted the Big Show fake? What about the fact that he also holds the record for most wishes granted in Make-A-Wish history? John Cena went into active war zones to visit military bases and boost military morale. Next, I'd like to talk about...
A diamond is a diamond and a stone is a stone, but man is part good and part bad, and that's me, huh?
Johnny Cash mashed country, rock and roll, folk, and gospel to make his own distinct sound. Next, we're going to talk about Taylor Swift. The only reason she's on this list is because Jalen Brunson said this.
I just want to say something to the Swifties. She's a really good one. Cut her some slack.
So now she's here. Taylor Swift started her career in 2006. She released a song that people liked. And then she released another album, people liked it. Then she released another album, people liked it. She had a lot of teen drama, I guess. I don't know. She did great. She's a billionaire. And She did it the Eras Tour, but she wasn't the best. She wasn't close to the best. She couldn't top the list. There's only one person that could have topped the list, and that was Michael Jackson. Play the end. The lady killer, the voice of God, Michael Jackson. He took the Bloods, they took the Crips, and he put them together, and he just started dancing. And you know what? No one fought. No one fought, no one got hurt. It was just Michael Jackson dancing around, and the Bloods and the Crips were just like, oh, Michael Jackson, you know, he's pretty good. He's pretty good at what he does, you know, and then they started dancing, and then everybody was just sitting in an airplane hangar dancing. And they hated each other. But Michael Jackson was so good and so famous and so iconic that he impacted the whole entire world with his music. And he shared his ideas of togetherness, thought of just being happy and loving thy neighbor. And Michael Jackson is the greatest of all time. And I don't need to tell you how awesome Michael Jackson is because you already know. Next is Tiger Woods.
He was behind the wheel of his SUV impaired. When we say impaired,
that's America, baby. Rocky Bleier was drafted to the Pittsburgh Steelers in 1968, and then he was drafted again to Vietnam. While in Vietnam, he got shot in the leg, and a grenade blew up his right foot. Doctors said he'll never walk again, but how many doctors are ever right about that? I think it's a 0 for 10 for you'll never walk again, and then they walk again. But he went back after his rehabilitation, played on the Steelers, and then won 4 championships with his busted foot. Mike Phelps is literally the best swimmer on the planet. He won more Olympic medals than anybody in the entire world with 28 medals, and he also holds the most all-time record for Olympic gold medals. And moving from one record breaker to the other, we're going to talk about Jesse Owens. Jesse Owens was a track star who ran in the 1936 Olympics. And for the people that don't know, the 1936 Olympics was held in Nazi Germany, where Jesse Owens won 4 gold medals in front of Hitler and broke the 400-meter relay Olympic record in front of a country that believed the Aryan race was superior. Owens also got the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1976. Now let's talk about
half of the second inning. Robinson gets the first hit off fourth. It's a homer into the left field stand.
About Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson was an American professional baseball player who was the first American to play in the Major League Baseballs in modern era. Robinson broke the color barrier and he started at first base on the Brooklyn Dodgers. He took someone's position, and maybe we'll get into that guy too because he was also a legend. Now let's talk about what's more American than NASCAR? Dale Earnhardt. Dale Earnhardt, aka the Intimidator, dropped out of high school to do side jobs just to fund his racing career. And he entered the NASCAR Cup Series in 1970, winning 76 races and holding 7 Cup Series championships. In February of 2001, he passed away during a on-track incident between 2 cars at the Daytona 500 on the final lap. The only thing I should say is, if you haven't been to a NASCAR race, you should go to a NASCAR race. They are very fun. Next is LeBron James. Raised by a single mother, Gloria James, he was called the chosen one before moving to the NBA, straight out of high school, which was crazy at the time. He was just that good that people were like, yeah, he should be playing against the best in the world. That just makes sense. And now everyone's talking about, where's LeBron gonna go? Is he gonna go to this team? Is he gonna go back to the Heat? Where's he gonna go? Fun fact, LeBron James could just play for a college. You can go back to college, get a degree, and just play college ball. I think that would be pretty funny to see, honestly. LeBron James just playing in college, dunking on some 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds. But yeah, he has so many accolades and he made so many records in the NBA that it's hard to say all of them, so I'm just gonna touch on like what I think was the coolest ones. He has 3 Olympic medals. He also put together that team and highly encouraged some of the younger players and older players to play so America can win the gold. It was pretty much like this clip.
We're not joining your team.
I'm putting together a team.
We're in.
Now let's talk.
Are you kidding me?
Tony Hawk turned skateboarding into a real sport. At first it was just for delinquents, and then he was like, yo, watch this, 900, and then people were like, yo, this guy's pretty good. We should add this to the Olympics too. Talking about the Olympics a lot, I know, but it's the world stage, as they say, so I guess I gotta. Yeah, when he turned 14, he became a pro skater and landed the first 900 at the X Games 1999. He was mostly known for his vert tricks, held the World Vert Championship for 12 years, which I'm a flex for him. That's longer than Magnus Carlsen held the World Championship in chess. Now we're gonna move into people you don't know. Anthony Fauci. I should have learned how to pronounce these names before starting recording. He pretty much pioneered HIV and AIDS therapy. Then there was also Jonas Salk. He cured polio that president had in the beginning of the list. He cured it. Amelia Earhart. She flew across the Atlantic, no stops. First person to do it. Talk about Victoria Woodhull. Victoria Woodhull was a leader of the women's suffrage movement, addressing the U.S. House of Representatives personally on why women should have rights. Imagine that. She just walked into a House of Representatives with all the men and was like, women deserve rights. And they were like, shit. Because according with the 14th and 15th Amendment, like, women have rights. She ran for president. She was the first woman to run for president. She also advocated for free love and being openly gay. And then later in life, she and her sister published the Woodhull and Coffins Weekly, which exposed affairs of public figures. That's wild. She was just like, yo, guess who's having an affair? This guy! She was arrested because of it. But now, here's my favorite on the list.
The Rifleman. Starring Chuck Connors.
Chuck Connors is my favorite on this list. He is, in my eyes, the most American out there. He's just the guy. Chuck Connors was a World War II hero. He was a tank warfare instructor at West Point for the longest time before changing his career and becoming an NBA player. He went from instructing people how to use tanks to playing on his ideas and became a baseball player, where he played on the Brooklyn Dodgers with Jackie Robinson for first base position, or he was only one of 13 Americans to play in both the MLB and NBA. After his sports career, he decided to pick up acting and act in the show The Rifleman, which is an awesome show, and I think you should check it out. And if you don't want to pay for it, it's free on YouTube. You can just watch the whole series on YouTube. And last and finally, we're going to the honorable mentions category. I know the video is ending. Oh my god, I'm gonna freak out. But if you want to hear more from me, subscribe. So the honorable mention is all first responders, all armed forces members, the Colt Manufacturing Company, the Constitution of Independence. I know what you're thinking. This is a document, but it's a living document, so you're alive, which makes you American. My dad. Thanks, Dad. And last and finally, for all my Ella fellas out there, Ella Langley.
She's from Texas, I can tell.